Solar Plexus Chakra, the third chakra. How do we balance the third chakra? Well, it's time to build some heat. We've moved from earth to water to fire. We're on the fire element now. The energy that arises here has the potential to become power. We develop power and will as we move through difficulties in life. We learn to allow our impulses to arise and direct them toward our goals. So it's okay to have impulses if we can direct them towards something positive, like our goals. The crux of the third chakra power rests on the strength of your will. So this is what we want to develop over this discovery of the third chakra is the will, our willpower. So we know that we can have too much energy or too little energy going into each chakra. If we have too much energy, we are dominating, controlling, competitive, arrogant, ambitious, hyperactive, stubborn, or driven. Now, all of these things are not bad, but with too much of one thing, it becomes overbearing. Or we can have too little. We can be passive, lack of energy, poor digestion, the tendency to be cold, tendency toward submission to others, blaming of ourselves or other people, low self-esteem, lack of confidence, and weak will. All of these things mean deficiencies. Our goal when we explore the chakra system is to become balanced. And if we are balanced, we show signs that we're responsible, reliable. We have good self-discipline, positive sense of self, confident, warm, energetic, spontaneous and playful, and able to take risks. Let's talk about how we deepen our connection to this third chakra, the solar plexus chakra. So in our body, fire and heat in the body influence our metabolism. This relates directly to our digestion. You'll notice that as we do our practice, our yoga practice, that we'll do some twisting, which will get the center of our body fired up and warmed and circulated and just increase that metabolism. So our food becomes energy in our body, and you can pay attention to the food that you eat, your digestion throughout the day and your energy levels throughout the day as well. See if you can notice highs and lows throughout your day. A lot of people have that. And there might be times when you can increase your energy throughout the day by doing some movement or eating different kinds of foods to increase your energy, which will become power. You use your will to stick to exercise that builds strength and energy. So how many times have we started an exercise program and we're really excited about it, and we do it for a little while and then it peters out, it ends. We don't want to do it anymore. We don't have the will. We don't have the willpower to continue on, to stick with it. For me, yoga is what works for me. I started yoga and I've never stopped. So whatever it is about yoga, well, I have my thoughts. It allows me to have the willpower to stick with it. Find that for yourself. Hopefully it's yoga for you as well. How does your energy fluctuate in the day? Can you find patterns of ups and downs of your highs and lows? See if you can notice and maybe even map it out. Take a log, take notes. And then think about what increases your energy. Is it just getting up and taking a little walk? Is it having a big glass of water? Is it eating a healthy snack? What increases your energy? Psychological issues. So the third chakra is related to our ego identity. And the ego is what chooses our intentions, so chooses what we're going to do through the day and puts the energy in order to accomplish them. So think about your goals. You choose what those goals are, you choose what that focus is, and your ego provides the energy to accomplish those things. So we do need a healthy ego identity to make the way through our challenges. If our sense of self is shaky, our ego is weak. We need to find balance, or we will not outgrow our current self-definition. So we do have thoughts about who we are and where we're going. But sometimes we need a little bit of growth. And if we don't have a sense of ego, we're not going to grow. We're not going to change. So ask yourself these questions to determine your ego strength. You can even take notes if you would like. Can you stand your ground when challenged? Do you have a positive self-regard? Are you true to your own individuality? Are you overly focused on your own needs? Do you constantly seek attention or approval from others? The function of the third chakra is our basic right to act. The right to the third chakra is the right to act. Action is the way we channel our energy and create behavior. So, are you able to take action when necessary? The opposite of this action is the feeling of shame. Shame is the demon of the third chakra. Shame is an ego state focused on how we think we are doing. So, do you say, oh, I'm not good enough at what I'm doing here. I feel shame in this. Or I don't like the way I interact with other people. I feel shame in that. So we want to try to figure out what our troubles are and how we feel the shame, where it's coming from. So you could do a little exercise here. First of all, are you troubled with feelings of shame? Then write down your shame messages, like the things that I mentioned a little. I don't feel like I'm good enough to do the work that I'm doing. But write that down. And where is that coming from? Is that coming from you? Is that coming from your peers around you? Are you trying to get approval from others around you? Is it maybe coming from something in your childhood? A phrase that you were told over and over again in your childhood? See if you can find the source. Then, lastly, most importantly, write a more supportive message that is much closer to the truth. We can do some activities to increase our fire. So, risk-taking. We need to claim our power. So think of power like a muscle. It needs to be developed, just like a bicep, just like a calf or an abdominal. We have to move beyond our comfort level into new territory in order to flex this muscle, to develop it. But we have to give ourselves room to explore, make mistakes, fall on our face a little bit, and learn. If we don't give ourselves that room to explore and make mistakes, then we're going to start to feel the shame again. That's the demon. We don't want that. So we need the grace and the willingness to let ourselves make mistakes. And you just maybe ask yourself, do you take risks in your life? And what happens when you do? Are you able to learn from them? Are you able to move past them and go forward and make change and find a little bit of power? Do you allow yourself to make mistakes as part of the learning process? We can have a lot of growth in our mistakes if we can embrace them and learn from them. Let's say we feel like we have too much fire in our life, too much energy going into that solar plexus chakra. So what can we do to decrease the fire? You can increase the water element in your life, soften the edges in your life. Drink water, get a little bit of that flow back. Too much fire can undermine our stability. So we want to keep that root underneath us. It's very important to remember that the root comes first in our chakra system. Too much fire can make it difficult to focus our will. We want to have a clear focus, not something that's all over the place. So we might avoid spicy foods, caffeine, and other stimulants. We should take time to relax, breathe, meditate. And as you're doing that, relaxing, breathing, and meditate, just ask yourself, do I feel anxious when I sit still? What happens to you when you aren't doing something? Notice the feelings that come with being quiet. Lastly, we want to come to healing and balance. So we need to work with the fire element. Maybe we increase the fire in the body by eating or drinking hot foods. You can increase your metabolism with vigorous exercise. So that's that digestive system working, pushing the food through the body to create energy. Digestion is slowed from overeating. So we keep our foods light and simple, something that we can digest quickly and get that heat right away in our body. So it will become energy. Things that you can do in your home. You can bring in bright colors, reds, yellows, oranges, colors that represent fire, that are in fire. High gloss paints reflect light and move energy through the body better than a flat paint does. We can use shapes like triangles, pyramids, and diamonds when we do designs, like in pillows, in artwork, that kind of thing. And then we can actually bring fire into our home with candles, lanterns, tea lights, fireplaces. Great ways to build a little fire. And then in our body, look at how you're sitting. Do you crouch a little bit, roll your shoulders in and round your back? Well, that's going to squish that area of digestion. There's not enough room to digest. So we want to sit straight. We want to draw our shoulders back to make room for the fire inside. And the same thing when we're standing as well. When we stand, do we slouch? Do we hunch over? Try pulling the shoulders back. Try feeling the ground beneath you, that root, and then lifting the energy from the root. And see if you can find a little balance within your body. Of course, next you'll be doing the yoga practice, which will help you to create physical balance and build a little fire within.